food. All right. Okay, good. So just like normal, welcome everybody. Namaste, welcome to you all. Let's come and stand up and let's put one foot behind the other and roll on the top of your foot, please. All right. So don't be surprised if you're feeling a little bit slow, a little bit tired, a little bit, it takes a long time to get going in the morning. I think that's quite symptomatic of, you know, of being tired, being stressed out, being worried about things. Change direction. So when we feel like that in our bodies, just take care if you feel like that. Don't overdo whatever it is we're doing. And if your body is telling you to stop, to pause, to rest, then please, you just do that, you listen. Okay, so swap over, swap feet, take the other hand behind and rolling on the top of the toes. And the feet really are like windows for the rest of the body. When we start to warm the feet, when we start to massage and open up into the joints of the feet, we really do help so many of the rest of the parts of the body, particularly the hips and the spine. So stretching out the feet, change direction, stretching out the feet is really, really good for loosening and mobilising the spine. So never underestimate the effectiveness of what you're doing, why we're doing it. Okay, so let's stop that. Let's bring the big toe joints together, outside edges of the feet parallel. Bend the knees and your feet are going to stay on the floor, but your knees are drawing circles. I want you to watch your feet, watch how your toes grip onto your mat, watch how your feet change shape and the different ligaments there and tendons that you might be able to sort of see working through your feet, through the skin. Okay, and change direction. Okay, well done. Let's come up to stand. Let's give the inner thighs a squeeze together. Send the front of the hip bones forwards. Lift the sternum up and just open the arms out to the sides as you gaze upwards towards the ceiling. And then come back into the bent knee position, hands just above the knees. Now the legs stay still for this, and it is just the pelvis that goes in a circle. So the tailbone drawing a circle in the air behind you, going out to the sides and round and down and up in the air. And you want to make that circle as big as you can. So you're really starting to feel the tummy muscles working. Maybe a little bit of a lift to the pelvic floor. We don't want to be working the pelvic floor too hard, especially on days when we're menstruating. So bear that in mind. And sometimes we can work the pelvic floor too strongly. We don't really need to do that. It's not so natural to do that. Okay, so if you come up to stand for a minute, do the same thing. Squeeze the inner thighs, send the front of the hips forwards, lift the sternum up, open the arms. And then come back down, back to that same position. And then you're going to go the other way. Okay. So we're aiming to do about 10 or 12 of these, but you can stop and do as many of these as you like. And I'd really encourage you to incorporate these into a more regular kind of exercise practice, especially if you're looking to tone the pelvic floor or the lower abdominal muscles. These are great for that. Very nice, ladies. You're all looking fab. Well done. Okay. Let's gently come up to stand. Well done. Let's give the legs a little bit of a shake out. Shake out the arms, shake out the hands. Give the legs a good flip, like a good flick out, because this just feels nice, okay? Flick the arms, flick the legs. Good. Okay, so let's bring the fingers together, elbows together, pumping the forearms up and down and the wrists rolling in circles. So the hands right up above in front of your face. so that you are looking at the movement of your wrists in just the same way that you looked at the articulation of your feet against the floor. See if you can watch how your wrists are moving. This is such a lovely kind of way to connect in with your own body, staying focused rather than being distracted, you know, looking at that dusty thing that needs rectifying, or looking at the, you know, thing. I'm always looking at the floor whenever I'm teaching, thinking, oh, I must vacuum, you know. Keep those distractions at bay. Keep focused on what you're doing. Make it about you this morning. Okay, swinging out of the arms. And then we'll do the same thing. Change the cross of the fingers, go the other way, and watch. Again, just watch your amazing body. This body of yours that's so capable of doing all these movements. And just simple movements like this can be so effective at, you know, releasing tension, releasing blockages, releasing knots. And when we feel better in our bodies, we feel better in our minds as well. Okay, so let's swing it out. Swinging out of the arms. Just make sure that you've got plenty of space to keep the arms moving in circles. Just like we normally do, let's take the right arm backwards and really allow the torso to move with this. So there's a little bit of you kind of rotating slightly to allow this arm to move with ease. And then do the front crawl with the left arm. So you're now got more of a side to side action happening. So you are continuing, there's a feel that you are rotating through the midline of your body as well as your shoulders doing these circles. Very nice. Okay, let's swing it out, just from side to side a little, bend the knees, let the head turn. And just by doing this, notice that the rotation might well have gone a little bit higher up the back to the middle back, maybe a little bit higher than that. But don't force the rotation, don't force the body to move. Like, you don't want to be wrenching it into any of these positions. Okay, so let's slow it down, and we're going to do the other side with the arms. So left arm's going to go in a backwards crawl motion, and you want this little bit of movement to be happening. And for that to happen, this little bit of rolling, if you like, from side to side, for that to happen, you've got to have openness in the knees and the ankles. And as you take the right arm forwards, there's a real sense of fluidity beginning to occur within your body. As you start to move and move your circulation, your blood, your lymph, you're starting to build up a little bit of heat in your muscles. Lovely. Okay, good. So let's slow it down and let's come back to these twists. And I want you to make sure you're in lots of space, so you're not going to bang into the walls or the furniture. And I'd like you to really build up a bit of speed now. And it's not that you're trying to lose the technique. I just want you to, as you get a bit faster with this, to feel as though your arms are getting longer. We always like that, don't we? We like to lengthen the arms, even if we're taking the arms behind our back. The indication often is to keep the arms lengthened, create space in the body, in the joints. And the blockages, the kind of energy blocks, are often held in the joints of the body. And these are called grunties, which is never a bad word to learn. I love that word, grunties. And as we release them, they carry a lot of emotions, and we start to feel lighter, we start to feel better, start to feel happier. We're able to deal with problems or with tricky situations with a bit more finesse. We can stay open-minded. We can see people's point of view, look at things from a different perspective. Okay, so let's slow it down. And the lovely thing about this is if we slow down naturally, Then you come to a standstill and I want you to close your eyes and just breathe. Notice your feet against the floor. Notice how you're feeling, probably quite grounded through the feet, quite steady. And there's this natural distribution of your body weight. You're automatically, after standing in those twists where you've had to really work the articulation of the feet against the floor, the feet have found that space. They've found that ability to hold you upright. How wonderful is that? Okay, so then let's keep the eyes closed perhaps. Let's drop the chin towards the chest and just allow the back of the neck to lengthen. And then you can sweep the chin across towards one shoulder. And then you can bring it back towards the center and sweep the chin across towards the other shoulder. And back. So just go side to side, really, really slowly, so that you're never overstretching or suddenly moving any of the neck muscles, because they'll just spasm, especially in the morning. You know what it's like, we sometimes wake up in the morning, don't we? We might have slept funny, we might have a funny ache in the neck or shoulder. And it sometimes comes from having moved suddenly, because it kind of puts the muscle into a bit of shock, so it goes into spasm. Okay, so the next time your chin is in the center, I want you to bend your knees a little bit and continue to roll down, like your arms are dangling down towards the ground and your knuckles are going to graze the floor in a moment. Your head is going to keep hanging forwards. The knees are soft. You could maybe rest your tummy onto the top of your thighs. There's no real kind of worrying about what the form looks like. It's about the feel here. So let your body weight pour a little bit into your heels, but also let it pour down the back of your spine, through the back of your neck, your head, and towards the ground. Hold the opposite elbows, please. When you are ready, you're going to turn a little bit to one side. I don't mind which side. And you're going to stay on that side and you're going to lift up. So it's like you're coming up into a sort of side stretch, keeping hold of the opposite elbows, lifting the arms all of the way up, returning to face forwards with the arms above your head, and then turning towards the other side of your body or the other end of your mat, and then rolling down towards the floor, down that outside edge of your body. Okay, so most of you are familiar with this, we've done this before. So rolling back towards the center, head hangs, and then up the other side of your body. So you're doing these big rolling circles, and they should feel just really nice because you can get into the sides of your waist quite nicely, and you're beginning to prep your spine for flexion. Not that that's an unusual thing. I mean, if you think about how you sleep, most of us kind of flex the spine a lot in our sleep. There's not very many of us that sleep flat out on our backs or extending the spine into some sort of back bend. The next time you come down to the floor, I want you to stop, so just hang down. So yeah, if you think about it, when you're asleep, you're kind of curled up. And so curling the spine is a form of, is flexing it, is flexion. So let the head hang when you come back to the center. Just take one more breath in and out here. And then you're going to go do the other way. So go back the way you just came. And we'll do maybe 3 or 4 of these going this way round. So take your time, just really enjoy this opening up. Maybe lift the elbow points upwards as strong as you can. Maybe lean them out to the sides a little bit more and only dangle softly down right at the end. Let the head hang. Be really kind to your neck. And just think about now how what we're doing is we are encouraging this flexion of the spine, but in a very soft, gentle way. We're not forcing the body, we're just going with the body's natural movements, natural openings, and we're putting spaces in But doing it from a standing position is just going to help us to regain the strength into the ligament tissue so that they get used to holding us upright instead of going all soft during the night when we're asleep. Okay, so the next time you come down to the ground, I want you to stop there and just hang forwards for me. Let your head hang and enjoy. If you need to change your position on your mat, please do. So I'm going to turn around to the side. I want you to release your elbows, bring your palms onto the floor near the top of your mat, shoulder width apart. Walk your feet back into downward dog, please. And I'd like you to stay here and breathe. Just press into the palms, press backwards through the thigh bones, lift the sit bones to the ceiling. As you press the palms into the floor, think about pressing through the thumb and index fingers, and then think about, at the same time as pressing into the thumb and index fingers, wrapping the shoulder blades around the edges of your rib cage. So they're just giving you a little bit of a hug there. Heels lowering down towards the ground. Keep the eyes open. Let the gaze fall backwards, either between the feet down towards the back of your mat, or you can take the chin towards the chest a little bit stronger and look upwards towards your navel. Again, just keep breathing. First long hold, just building up even more heat. Okay, so then let's take a breath in and let's walk the feet up towards the hands and just pause here for a moment. So again, feet about hips width apart, and maybe put the hands on the shins if you need a bit of extra height. You could put your fingertips onto a block or a book if you've got one. And just think about bending the knees down and then lifting the sit bones up. So bending the knees down again and lifting the sit bones. Do this one more time. Bend the knees down. And then as you lift the sit bones, let the head lengthen, bring the chin towards the chest. If the palms touch the floor, brilliant. Just press a little bit into the palms. Hold this here, lift up the sit bones some more. Open up the backs of the legs. And then bending the knees, bring the hands together at your heart and slowly come up to stand. Bring the hands above your head. When they get there, link your fingers, please, into a fist and reach up as strong as you can towards the ceiling. You can have your feet about hips width apart, it's fine. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, gently lean over towards one side. Come back on an in-breath. As you breathe out, come over to the other side. Inhale back to the center. Again, breathe out. Go a little bit deeper if you can. Breathe in, firm legs, strong feet. Think about your inner thighs. Good, lengthen the arms and come back up. Release the fingers, sweep the arms back down by your sides. Again, make sure that you've got some space here. So I'm just going to step forwards a little bit for the wall behind. Breathe in and bring the arms up and come onto your tiptoes. As you breathe out, stay on your tiptoes, twist to one side, lower the arms to shoulder height. Look behind you. Come up, breathe in, hands lift, heels stay high. Breathe out and gently turn the other way. Look behind if you can. Breathe in, one more time, each side. Reach up strong, calves. If you want to put the heels down, you can. Remember that. Looking behind you as you breathe out. Breathing in, last one, coming up. Squeeze the heels. Breathe out and gently turn. Good. Come up to center, breathe in. Well done. Breathe out. All that lovely heat in your legs getting even warmer. So roll the shoulders back a couple of times and then come to stand at the top of your mat, please. Good. Hands together at your heart. Take a breath in. Lift hands, look high. Breathe out, gently fold down. Soft knees, head hangs, hands come to floor. Hands to shins, breathe in, lift the heart halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Hands to the floor, walk the feet back this first time. Find the shoulders over the wrists. Just hold your nice high plank position. Get your body used to holding its weight through your upper arm, through your arms, through your shoulders. Pop your knees down onto the floor. Just keep your toes tucked under. Press the bottom back towards the heel so you get that nice toe stretch again. And then shoulders float forwards, lay tummy down, untuck the toes, press the feet down, lift the chest. Come down a little bit, breathe in, come up to all fours, tuck your toes, find a downward dog. Just hold this here for a couple of breaths. As you re-find your nice, strong, long arms, pressing into thumb, index fingers, lengthening through the sides of the waist, sit bones lifting, pressing back through the thigh bones, heels lowering. Hold this here for another breath. Okay, then looking forwards, just take your right foot to the top of your mat, please, and lower your left knee to the ground. Take a big, lovely breath in and come up, hands above the head or hands at the heart, whatever your preference is. Take a little bit of a lift to the front of the hip bones, tailbone points down, and think about that staying there as you lunge a little bit more deeply. So keep lifting the front of the hips. Very nice. Gently breathe in. As you breathe out, bow the hands back down. Untuck your toes, pressing the top of the foot on the floor, and then lift your back knee. So you've just got the top of your foot on the floor. Just see how that feels. For some of you, it will be fine. For others of you, you might not like this so much. So bring the left knee down, lift up onto the thigh, front of the hips lifting, tailbone down, and then do the same thing. See if you can lift the back knee off of the floor. So the top of the foot is on the floor, and you're giving your front of your left hip a nice big stretch. Good, come back down, very nice. Breathe in, arms come up. This time, left hand forwards, right hand back, look towards your right thumb. Take a breath here. Keep the right knee pointing forwards, don't let it roll out to the sides. Nice, take another breath, breathe in. As you breathe out, turn the other way. Right hand forwards, left hand back. Keep the right knee pointing forwards. Come back up to the center, breathe in. As you breathe out, bow down. Very good. Tuck under the back toes, step back to a high plank position. Either knees down, bottom back to swoop through, or knees, chin, chest. Take your time. Swooping through into cobra. And then coming down, lift up, hands and knees, tuck toes for downward dog. All right, so again, just press it back through the back line of your body, arms nice and long. Doesn't mean that you don't want any weight going into your hands. And in fact, if you think about your hips being the central point of your triangle, the peak of your triangle, you want the body weight to be even. So evenly moving down towards the floor to the hands and the feet. So let them work. Press the palms into the floor. Don't let the legs do all the hard work. Hold it here for another breath. And then looking forward, so you're going to take the left foot towards the top of the mat and lower the right knee down. Breathe in. Find your lovely Akabhajna and Anjaneyasana. Keep the front of the hip bones lifting, the tailbone pointing down, little bit of a lunge to the front hip just so that you can feel the right hip beginning to stretch. Good. Now lower the hands down to the floor, untuck the back toes, lift the back knee off of the ground. Just feel that extra long stretch into the front of the right hip. Then come back down. If you can either have your hands on your thigh or you can bring your hands up into the air, but just think about the front of the hips lifting and the stability through the abdomen, and then lift the back knee off of the floor. So remember, you could put your hands on the ground if you want to practice it that way. Good, coming down, very nice. You can tuck the back toes under again. Breathe in, come up. We're reversing the twist. So right hand forwards first, left hand back, look out behind you. Breathe in, come back up to face the center. Other way, left hand forwards this time, right hand back. Make sure your thumb's pointing up towards the ceiling. Breathe in, come up, face the front. Breathe out, gently fold back down, step back to downward dog again. And just press it out for a moment. If you want to pedal the heels, remember any down dog moments give you an opportunity to come into child's pose if you should wish to. Okay. So now let's look to where the hands are. You can either walk your feet up forwards or step or jump up to the top of the mat. Bring the hands to the heart and breathe in. Come all the way up. And breathe out, bring your hands to your heart. Good job. So, if you're very close to a wall, step back a little bit. And we're just going to take a little bit of a balance. So take your body weight into your right leg. Arms can be wherever you want. Start to float your left knee off of the floor. So I want you to have your knee bent, and you could stay here if you want. Or another option is to link your fingers underneath the back of your thigh and press your thigh down towards the floor so you're stretching the tops of your shoulders out. If you like, final option to extend the leg out long in front of you. Just hold that there for a breath, please. Good. And then keep the leg there. Breathe the hands up towards the ceiling. Very nice. Start to bend the knee and float the leg back all the way to the end of your mat and come into a balancing warrior. Very nice. Breathe in. We're going to go left hand forwards, right hand back. So breathe out and gently spin. Look out behind you. Breathe in. Come up. Other way. You could spin the left heel to the floor here if you feel comfortable with that. Breathe in, bring the hands back up. Very nice. Bow all the way down. And the right foot is going to come all the way up into the air behind you. Stretch it up, bend the right knee, bring the heel towards the bottom, and stack the right hip on top of the left hip. So you're looking out underneath your right arm. Breathe here, hold it for a sec. And then gently level off the hips and bring the right foot back forwards towards the top of your mat. Spin your left heel down to the ground for warrior two. So breathing in, left arm cartwheels, right arm comes up, and you look down, right fingers into the distance. Take a lovely big breath in, straighten the front leg, reach the hands up, breathe out, back to warrior two. Good, and again, breathe in. And breathe out. This time bring forearm onto the thigh, left arm alongside the ear, stretch outside body. Cartwheel back, reverse warrior. Good. Cartwheel hands down to the floor, left heel spins up, step right foot back to downward dog. Pause here, breathe. Draw the navel in towards the spine and just take a breath, take a moment. Good. And then let's look forwards. Float the shoulders over the wrists. Either knees, chin, chest, or whatever version you want to do. You could chaturanga. And then come into an up dog. Firm arms, chest forwards, legs strong. Then coming backwards into a downward dog, please. And then looking forwards to the top of your mat, either walking, stepping, or jumping, coming up to the top. Halfway lift when you get there. Folding down, breathing out. Hands to heart, breathe in, come all the way up. Look thumbs, and bring hands to your heart. Just press the pause button for the moment. If you want to grab a drink, you're very welcome to. Just breathe. If you're staying still on your mat, just think about maybe closing your eyes, letting your breath be steady. Okay, so other side. Let's start. taking your body weight into your left leg. So the left toes spread out, the heel is open. Let's take the right knee up, and it could be that you just stay here and hover with the leg here like this. You could link the fingers under the thigh and just press the thigh down slightly, because that does create quite a nice stretch for the top of the shoulders. Some of you might like to stretch the leg out, keep the navel strong, the heart lifted, and then as a final variation, you could take the arms up. Everybody now bend the right knee. You could lift the hands here, or you could have them on your hips. You're going to take the leg back. You're going to reach back as long as you can to come into balancing warrior. So right heel presses back, left knee bends. Take a breath in here. As you breathe out, right hand forwards, left hand back, look thumb. Breathe in, come back up to the center. Breathe out, like a warrior two, you can spin the heels down, look behind you though. Breathe in, back to the center, that's lovely. Okay, so just stay here. Hold it, breathe, very nice. Then gently bring the hands down. And you're going to step the left foot back and take the left foot up into the air, stack the left hip, bend the knee, and look out underneath your left arm. Just hold it, stretch out the sideways. Take another breath. And then level off the hips and bring the left foot forwards again. Spin the right heel down, cartwheel, right arm up, left arm up. Look down left fingers, make sure that the legs are in the correct position. Knee over ankle. Take a breath. Extend the front leg, reach the arms up. Breathe out, look down left fingers. Breathe in, come up again. Breathe out, come warrior two, then Parsvakonasana, arm onto the thigh. Cartwheel back for reverse warrior. Keep the front leg straight, bent, sorry. And then cartwheeling down. As you cartwheel down, spin up the back heel and step the foot back to a downward dog again. Okay, so just pause. Thumb and index finger as normal, like tiny softness into the knees. Press back through the hips. Okay, so look towards the hands, float the shoulders over the wrists. Come into chaturanga or other vinyasa of your choice. Breathe in. Breathe out to downward dog. Good, look forward, step or jump your feet to the top of your mat, half forward fold. Breathe out to Uttanasana. Breathe in, hands to heart, lift hands above the head. Stand up tall. Breathe out, hands to heart. Close the eyes and catch your breath again. Well done. Relax your shoulders. Okay, so let's do one more round. Couple of other variations along the way. Just stick with what you know you can do, and if you need to rest, take a rest. Okay, so let's bring the arms up above the head and separate the palms. Palms face one another, hands about shoulder width apart. Body weight into the right leg, please. Start to bend the left knee. And extend the left leg out in front of you and hold this here, please. Breathe. Okay, lift the foot a bit higher. You can all do it. Well done. Okay, so another breath. And then bend the left knee. Soften the right knee. Take the foot out behind you, start to lower the arms, and then bring the hands behind the back, link the fingers, stretch the left leg back, and step back to balancing warrior with the arms behind the back if you can. You can always do it with the hands in front if you prefer. Then release the hands, lean forwards, and come into Virabhadrasana 3. So you're going to float the left foot off of the floor and reach the fingertips back. Very nice. Now bend the right knee a little bit and step the left foot behind the line of the right heel. So for triangle pose, arms come up to shoulder height, reach right fingers forwards, right hand comes down, left hand goes high. Hold this here and breathe. Good. Then looking down, bending the front knee, come into warrior two again. You might be a little bit shorter than perhaps you would ordinarily be, that's okay. And then you can bring the hands to the hips if you want. You're going to come back into this balance with the leg out up in front of you and the hands above your head. And breathe. Then this time the knee bends. You're coming into a warrior three full version. You can have hands down by your sides or on your hips if you want. Stretch the left leg out long, stretch the right fingers forwards, well done. And then bend the right knee, step the left foot back and bring the body down to Parsvottanasana this time. So front leg straight if you can, hips balanced, no twisting in the lower back, keep the right hip moving back slightly, press the left heel into the floor, lower the chin. Okay, and then take one more breath here, well done. And we're going to bend the right knee and you're going to come up to the balance again, but keep the left knee bent. Please don't worry if you're wobbly. And we're going to take a twist. Right hand to left knee, left hand comes behind and look to the thumb. Okay, breathe in, hands come up, left foot goes down, hands to heart. Nice. Shake it out with your right leg. It's going to make your legs muscles nice and strong. Remember how we talked about the relationship between strong legs and healthy lungs. Okay, and what that means is we've got the other side to get through. Okay, so if you needed a quick sip of water, go for it. And find your body weight into your left foot, spread out the left toes. And begin by taking the right knee up, straightening the leg if you can, arms come up. Remember, repeat any of the previous options that we did before. If you need to hold the thigh or have the hands down, it's okay. Hold this for another breath. You've got it, well done. And then bending the right knee, you're going to lower the arms so that the hands come down by your sides. And then behind you, you're going to link the fingers and then stretching the right foot back, come into a balancing warrior with the hands behind the back if you can. Good. From here, variation on warrior three. So release the hands, start to lean forwards, find your balance and float the right leg off of the floor. Okay, so draw the navel in. Internally rotate the back thigh to point the right toes at the ground. Hold it for another breath. And then bending the left knee, bring the right foot to the floor, behind in the line of the left foot, heel, straighten the left leg, breathe in, come up to stand, breathe out, reach to the left or reach to the top of the mat, bring the right hand down, look up towards your thumb. Triangle pose. Okay, keep breathing. Nice. Then let's look down. Let's breathe in, come up and bend the front knee. So you might be in a shorter warrior, so please don't worry about that, it's all good. Okay, so we're going to bring the hands to the hips. I think I've remembered this right. We're going to bring the left, we're going to stand up and bring the right foot forwards again. And then when we come back, let's bring the arms up above the head. And then when we come back, this time into a full warrior three, hands can be forwards. Remember, keep the back of the pelvis level. Don't worry if you're wobbly. Reach it back, you've got this. Good job. And then dropping the right foot to the floor, toes turn out slightly to the side. Make sure that you feel nice and square to the top of the mat. You can bend the left knee if you want. Hands can come down to the floor and you're folding towards your leg. Breathe. Parsvottanasana. Good job. One more lovely breath. And then let's come back up to stand, floating the right knee up. Keep the knee bent, arms come up. Left hand to right knee, right hand comes out behind. See if you can turn your gaze to look towards your right thumb. Very good. Then breathe in, both hands up to the ceiling, foot lowers down, and bring the hands to the heart. Lovely, take another breath here. As you breathe out, bend the knees and fold down to the ground. Uttanasana. Take your body weight into your right leg. Start to take your left foot out behind. Maybe it's just the toes that go onto the floor. Perhaps you would like to float the leg up, maybe to about halfway. If you've got a little bit more to find, a bit more stretch, you could take the foot even higher up if you want to. Very good. Then looking at your right ankle, bend your right knee, bend your left knee, and bring your left knee to the floor, to the outside of your right ankle, and come to sit for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Okay, so just legs. We did this on Tuesday night. I know most of you are familiar with this. Breathe the left arm up to the sky. Wrap it around the right knee. Take the right hand behind and just for a moment, look over the shoulder. Okay. Take another breath or two. Then gently breathe in, come back to the center, turn the other way. And then you're going to lift up onto your knees. So you're going to bring your hands to the mat, even though you might have sat off to the side a bit slightly. And then the left leg comes up, head lowers down, right foot comes alongside left foot. Standing forward fold. Body weight into the left leg. Breathe in, maybe it's just the right toes that come out behind. You could lift the right leg up to about halfway, internally rotate the thigh. Those of you that want to go for a standing split can lower the upper body, can turn the hips a little bit more and lift the leg as high as you can. And then looking at the left ankle, bend the left knee, bring the right knee to the outside of the left ankle if you can, and sit down. You can always come to sit and get yourself into the pose that way round. Right arm lifts up to the sky, reach it up, and then either elbow to the outside or hug the knee, whatever feels good. Left fingertips behind you, looking out behind. It's turning around. Very good. One more breath. Then inhale back to the center. Turn the other way briefly. And then come back. Lift forwards. Bring your palms back to the floor. Lift the right foot up into the air. And bring the right foot alongside the left foot. Fold down. Good. Hands to heart, breathe in, come all the way up to stand. And breathe out, bring your hands to your heart. Close your eyes, relax your shoulders. And enjoy your heart beating behind your hands. Good. Okay, so let's just shake it all out again. Okay, so for those of you that need to go, it is 8:45. So if you've got to be logging on and you need to be at your desk in 15 minutes, and you want to go, then please go. For those of you that can stay for one more stretch, just come down onto the floor. Come and lie down, and hug your knees in towards your chest. Okay. Just let the back of the body begin to settle, allow the shoulders to relax. And then what we're going to do is take both feet up into the air, extend up through the heels, flex the ankles. Take the arms straight up to the ceiling. Link the fingers, point through the index finger. Okay, you're going to keep the legs high, you're going to take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to lift your head and your shoulders and try and touch your toes with your fingertips. Breathe in, come back down. Okay, breathe out, curling up. Breathe in to come down. Keep going, breathe out and in. Let's do about 5 more. Let's go up as high as you can, lift the heels as well. Good. 2 more. Well done, last one. And rest, hug the knees back in towards your chest. Take a nice big breath out, sigh it all out with your body. Good. Okay, so legs back up into the air, hands down by the sides this time. Flatten the lower back into the floor. And as you breathe out, gently lower either one heel or both heels. And when the back can't stay flat towards the floor, that's when you stop the descent of the heels, point the toes, and breathe the legs back up to the ceiling. Flex the ankles again. As you breathe out, you're either doing the other leg or you're keeping going with both legs. Come down as low as you can, but don't touch the ground. Point the toes, come all the way back up. See if you can keep going, please. Working with your breath. Holding the abdominal muscles nice and strong. Good. Keep going. That was about 3. This is 4. Well done. 5. Let's see if we can do 5 more. If you need to stop, please just hug the knees in towards the chest. Only 4 more, you've got this. Keep going. Now it's 3. Good job, just 2 more. One more. Well done. Come back up and hug the knees in. Good, have a little rock. Okay, keep a hold of the knees with the left hand. Take the right arm out to the side. Rock the knees across to the left. And just lay in a twist for a moment or 2 and just breathe some of that out of the abdomen. Okay, let's inhale, bring the knees back up to the center. Hold them with the right hand, take the left arm out anywhere that's comfortable and rock the knees across to the right. Maybe turn the gaze to the left. Relax the left arm. Breathe into the side of the waist. Good job. Let's breathe in together. Let's come back up to the center. Hug the knees in, have a little rock. And then you're going to slide your heels away down towards the ends of your mat. Take the arms alongside your ears. Have a nice big stretch out. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, release the arms back down by your sides. Turn your palms up, let your toes roll out to the sides. And you're just going to stay and breathe for 1 minute here, not very long at all. So just close your eyes, let your back body rest. Let your front bodies release. And breathe. Take 3 more lovely big breaths in and out. Last breath. And then when you're ready, bend the knees. Roll yourself across to one side. Come round and up to sit. And then just sit cross-legged or kneeling. Fingertips to the floor. Breathe in, bring the hands all of the way up. And breathe out, bring the hands down. Just rest them in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Just do a little bit of an assessment, a little bit of a roundup for how you're feeling now. Give yourself a little mental pat on the back. And then for the rest of the day, notice how this early morning practice informs the rest of your day. Does it make your conversations different? Does it make you feel brighter? Do you get things done? See how it can fuel your day. Maybe there is the inspiration to practice early morning a little bit more regularly. Take another breath in, opening your eyes, lift your hands, well done, and namaste. Good. And then inhale, come back up, well done. Excellent work, everybody. Super good job today.